I knew the day was gonna come. I'm missing a leg, can you tell? Welcome back to the worm. Man, it took me like a day and a half to unpack from camping on Drummond Island with Sarah. And then that extra half a day, it just poured the whole time, so everything is super muddy. We got 2 decent days now where I'd like to get this whole log frame up for the kitchen. As you saw a couple weeks ago, my solar panels are gone now, so we can get that out of here. And I thought we had everything laid out. We got 1 leg there, 2, 3. This one's a little bit wimpy, honestly. And then we got 2 cross beams. Oh, maybe these. Wait a minute. Why is this so confusing? No, I think these 4 are for the frame up top. So 2 long ones going this way, and then 2 short ones going that way. Is that what we planned? In other words, I gotta find 3 legs. We got some in here, but these are all pretty wimpy. I think we're gonna use those for like bracing and whatnot. Kuiper, find the cedar legs. Worthless. You know what we should do? I do have cedars. I see every now and then that I've cut for one reason or another all around the property, and I kind of shove them aside. Maybe we need to go for a cruise and see what's already out there. Otherwise, I guess we could use these. That one's a good leg. Maybe that is, but it's longer than it needs to be, and I hate to waste that. And then there's the problem. If you got a skinny one, you can't really mill it. If you got a fat one, you could actually make boards out of it later on that we'll need. But the fat ones make the best legs, not because you need the strength, but because you got an upright like this. So let's say it's round like that. That's one of the corners, and then you have a log. Nope, go away. You got a log coming this direction, and you got one coming this direction that both need to sit on that corner. And I think the way I've done this in the past is to, well, we'll notch the log, but then you have to cut this angle out of it. So that's 1 log there and 1 log like that. Does that make any sense to anyone? It does to Kuiper. Okay, you can have the stick now. So if you've got these 2 main frame logs sitting on top of the leg, you don't want a little puny leg like that. One thing we could do would be kind of cool is flip all these legs upside down. You know, normally be skinny on top and the fat end would be sitting on the floor. You do get a bigger footprint on the bottom, which is nice to kind of spread that weight out a little bit. But it'd be nice to have the fat side on the top too, to lay those logs on. Checked the temperature before I walked out the door, and it was like in the 30s, so I put all my clothes on. I have so many I can hardly frickin' move. Before we do anything, I'm gonna have to shed a couple layers. Since it's in the 30s, we're gonna have to let this warm up for a little bit. Dang, I'm just strolling around looking for logs. I forgot about this huge pile of already stripped cedar limbs. I didn't realize that was there. Well, that is all from the ice storm. Those are the trees that fell pretty much on top of the lean-to. Just as I walked out to the kitchen there, I was wishing I had some more cedar to chip and spray all over the place. If only we had time, I wouldn't have to get all muddy right now. Well, put it on the list of stuff to do. I'm trying to imagine all the trails around here and think what's left, and yeah, that doesn't work. I actually have to walk through here because here you go. There's a sign for the gravel pit right here. There's 2 feet, perfect ones. So we just gotta hunt up 1 more. Well, I'll shut my mouth. I was gonna say, I don't think there's anything back here. Oh, look at that. We got our first puddles in the gravel pit. It's not so much water that I can't move gravel anymore, but now it's gonna weigh a whole lot more. I found the 4th one. Look at the, there are only limbs on this side of the tree, and in the ice storm it was leaned right over on the cabin. There's nowhere for this tree to fall but on the cabin. It's not super beefy. I hope it's not too rotted out in the bottom. It does have a little bit of a curve in it, but you know from the bow-legged gazebo that I like that. What's going on here? Well, I mean, I don't want to make more work for myself right now than I need to, but I think we're gonna take this tree down. Now, does anybody know how to do that? without hitting the cabin. I wonder if the digger would push it that far. It's a good thing the tree's not that heavy because it does have a crazy lean and all the weight on that side. I know I've set out to cut that tree down a couple times and stuff just got in the way and I didn't end up doing it, but I don't know what my plan was. I'm a little tempted to just put the digger on it, cut a little, push a little, cut a little. Let's try the throw line a couple times. If I can't get it up there, then we'll try the digger push. Oh, bad throw. Uh-oh. Watch your teeth. Oh, that's where I wanted it. Oh, what's that? Second throw? All right, well, I guess we'll pull it down. Perfect. Thought that was going to be more of a hassle. Now, do we pull it over with the four-wheeler or the digger? Let's use the digger. It's already warmed up. I just figured out the reason to use the ATV instead of the digger. I had to back a long ways up to find a little flat piece of ground that I can work on, that I can drive on with that thing. Could have hooked the rope to the ATV and just driven over all this as I needed, but nope, not with this thing. She's a princess, so we got a little bit of a runway back there. Which isn't bad because that's kind of a wimpy tree, but it is still 50 feet tall. You want to be about, 30 to 70 feet back. Are you keeping my feet warm? Well, it can't be that solid of a tree. Nope. I did like half of that cut and then gave it a little pressure. I'm wondering if maybe all that garbage doesn't just go up to the jog there. Like there's some damage to the tree at some point. I don't know. Well, it just barely hits. It's actually just the limbs laying on that other tree. Just give it a little shove that away. So if we turn these logs upside down for feet, that tiny little bad spot won't ever get any water in it. Although you can see it went from this to this to this, so there's probably only another foot or so of bad stuff. I think we need to go measure what exactly we want because we could almost get 2 feet out of this. Might as well peel these right now. Okay, we're doing 7.5 foot, right? Oh no, we're going 88 inches. Why 88? It's a great number. I'd like to hear your argument against it. That all works fine as long as we're happy with these four for the top of the frame. If we're not, then we could use that for part of it. All right, let us let us think for a minute. So we've got two long logs, one that goes here, and one goes right across the middle. This back one can get supported in the middle, so it doesn't have to be incredibly beefy. This front one's gonna have to span a full, 12'4" with no support underneath it, because that would be in the way of the goings on of the kitchen. Fat end is 7, and the fat end of the other one is around about 7. Skinny end 5.5. Geez. Skinny end 6. So if we were gonna get rid of one, it would be this one. Geez, so nice and straight though. Oh, we're not getting rid of this one because we already milled the top off of it. Okay, so that's our back one, because the rafters are gonna sit on top of that. That's up. So as much as I hate to do it, we could turn this into a leg. Jeez, you don't really get cedar that much that straight and that has that little taper. That would kind of hurt to cut the end off of that. But let's see if we can get a 12-footer out of this log. Even if it's all, I hope it's actually, the wavier the better. Man, we could use a really twisted log for that. Dude, I'm trying to set up the camera right there. Do you see me? I'm at work. Go on, go away. So if we use this one, we've got about 8 that way, and 12 feet down, about 6 inches. You know what? I think we got to use this one, if for no other reason than it's got some character to it. Oh no, it is not going to be a good peeling day. Massive sap. Oh yeah, and the bark's not going to come off clean either. Oh man, it's going to be so sticky to work with. It's going to take me an hour to peel it, I bet. Yeah, the inner bark's not going to come off. Well, maybe we put it up there and I didn't even have a plan when I started that sentence. I know what you're thinking, use a draw knife, but it really doesn't work on this stuff. Even if it's like a razor, it just clogs up. That sucker is a real sticky mess, but I like how bizarre it is. This one was cut down a while ago. Let's see how that feels. Okay, you got the last of them peeled. Oh, just when I thought I was done. I'm gonna take that one down and flip it upside down. I guess we'll peel it now. And then I'm kind of looking at what these logs are gonna sit on. So it's like around there. The support is really just on the outside. I don't think I could fit anything underneath there, unfortunately. That kind of sucks. So maybe we're gonna have to have these like hang off the outside a little bit. This is the same as the other side. I didn't put enough fasteners right along here, so there's kind of a cup. I was going to just grab the planer and knock it down a little bit so it's flat, but I really want the log to push that board down rather than putting the weight out. Oh, that's the other thing. Who frickin' planned this? I think these two boards are scabbed together because I see screws right there. And you got the stump right there, so we're putting the upright there. However, the floor joist is there and there because I didn't really want to attach it in between those two boards. But that also means right there, there's not much support. We do have a 1.5 inches and then a 1.5 inch scab that's sitting on the stump, so I guess that's enough. Maybe we'll just hang it a little bit to the outside. But this side too, The floorboard has a cup. See all the gouges there? I was trying to press this board down with the excavator and it really didn't move. So I don't know that putting screws in there is gonna do much, but it's gonna be really hard to trim this log to stand straight up if this isn't flat. Let's do the 2 back corners first and give it a tink. Paper just ran off with my pencil. Listen, you jerk. Where'd you put it? There's another screw in here somewhere. There it is. And another. All got buried under the bark. Oh, man. Just feel this standing up. Oh, shit. Dang, there's still another screw in there. Whoopsie. It happened. I just had a brilliant idea. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. You find a super flat spot on here, set the log up straight. You know, you do the trimming and the brushing on the bottom to get it just right. Cut it off at 88 inches, flip the thing over, do it again. Then you have a perfectly flat top on it. What I'd normally do is what I did there. I did all my trimming and brushing and everything, got it perfectly straight. Maybe I'd cut the top off, but then I'd go up there with a level and a straight edge and flatten it out on a ladder. That's dumb. You just reflip the log, you get it all perfect, and then you lay your top logs on there. Jeez, I'm both brilliant and really dumb for not thinking of that earlier. We've already got that end leveled out, so cut our 88. Of course, we'll take our time and try to cut it as flat as possible, so when I'm flattening it out perfectly, we're not losing a whole bunch of length. It looks quite off, but we'll try it. He's so lazy. Hi, you comfortable? A little bit of a lean. Let's see if, yeah, we've got a couple little bumps there we might as well knock off now. Looks like that. No, it's really not too bad. That bit. That'll do it. Make sure it's pretty close to vertical. That's pretty good. This is our biggest leg with the most curve to it, which kind of looks the neatest. So where should we put that? Over there probably? Or in this back corner? I guess when you walk up, you're gonna see this one the most. But then when you go in there, let's put it in this back corner. Maybe I should take this sweatshirt off. Oh yeah, just getting covered. But it's so cold. I'm gonna try to not get this all over my neck. Oh yeah, gotta remember that's the top. But that is pretty flat. Oh my god. Just check for bumps. Yeah, that's good enough to set logs on. All right, got the other end. Hike. Ooh, that one looks not even close. Oh yeah, way off. should be there, up. Jeez, almost might want to recut that. Oh, if we recut it, we're losing length. We already cut our 88 inches. All right, we're gonna try to straighten it out. All right, we're gonna cut out that 45, 55, 60 minutes that it took me to get this thing to stand up straight. I don't know what the deal was. Still like a high spot in there somewhere. I don't want to spend any more time on this one. Let's hang the string. It's really good. I think it's the curve that's messing with my brain. See if we can squash this at all. Yeah, a little bit. Kuiper and I had to run inside for rain a minute ago, and I just want you to know, I want this on record. I did not take a nap. Having a hard time waking up, but I got the last log up there. Oh, you moron. I put that one right side up, which it should be upside down. All right, gotta flip that guy. That's too bad. It took me a little bit to get that just right. I have this one and that one leaned a little bit towards the middle just because I wasn't able to draw those boards, those floorboards down all the way. So I'm gonna have to put some braces on it to pull it out just a little bit, and then I think it'll settle better on there. All right, we got her flipped. Now, is there any correct order to do these in? The funnest one, of course, is that weirdo thing, because hey, look at it. Can you please quit sniffing the tripod? You're bumping the camera around. People don't like it. They don't even like you. That's not true. Look at that tail. Everybody likes that. I always relearn something that I'd forgotten when I do something like this, so I try to remember to start on the least seen side of this. So let's do that back edge. That's an extra one. I didn't end up having to cut it down for a foot, so I think I might have an idea for that later. Put these on just because I'm pretty sure I'll knock one of these legs over accidentally. Anybody know a dance or anything that would get rid of this drizzle? You know what? It's fine. It's a cool fall rain. Been looking forward to something like this for 6 months. See if we can get this close. Don't move. Don't breathe. Okay, that'll do. Now what do we do? Alright, so we're going to measure between there to figure out where our notches go. Oh, maybe I should have laid those logs out here first. We want to notch as little as possible out of all these logs. And it really doesn't matter if the log ends up going at some weird angle. What I would like though is the two logs that come together on a corner to be, the top of them to be roughly in the same place. So if I got a skinny end there, a fat end there, and I just take a little tiny notch out of it, and then I got a skinny end there, the top of the logs are going to be like this. So I think we'll put fat ends, skinny ends, etc. On that side, we're going to put the log with that whole ton of taper, and since this is pretty small on the top and that's quite a bit bigger, let's go skinny to fat on that one log. So we've got skinnies, fats. No offense to anybody watching. So our fat side of this one is 7. And our wonky log that's gonna meet up with it is about 8. Are you here to help or just get in the way? I'm listening to a debate on free will while I'm doing this, and it's kind of messing up my head. It's making me wonder, am I really choosing to build this or not? I think probably not. All right, so from notch to notch, 94 inches. I just had an idea, hanging off the end like this, and then I can make both those notch cuts at the same time, and then they'll be on the same plane. Looks like that's the crown. Freshen that up so we can see our pencil lines. Let's just pick an even number here. Let's go 5. Let's just go 4. We're going to chop in about 8 inches. Which one of y'all is gonna lift the other end? Listen, I'll get one end. I know there are at least 5 people watching this video. Really disturbs me that nobody jumps up. Nope, still sitting. Don't worry, I'm pretty buff. I'll just lift it in the middle. Oh, did I get it right? Is that the fat side? I can't see. Rest it on your face. Oh, that's enough. I mean, I could do that all day long. See how much rock it's got. A little bit. That one looks pretty nice and tight from here anyway. And this one does not. So we need to cut about a chain's width out of that side. And it has a tiny bit of wiggle. So mostly right here. Yeah, I'm glad I started with this one because I don't think I'm quite ready to heft that super long one down that we just cut. That thing's gonna be so heavy. I wish there was some way to use the digger for that, but it's too weeny. What I like to do with this, because once you start brushing it, you can't tell how much you've taken it down. It's just to make one cut exactly where you want it and to the depth you want it, and then even all the rest of it out. See you tomorrow. All right, I don't want you to watch this. Avert your eyes. You just never know what's gonna happen. Oh my God, this is the light side. Don't fall, don't fall. You just got to tell it what you want. No problem. No problem. A little bit dizzy. I hope I put the right end over here. Uh-oh. Didn't trim it out far enough or something. Oh, crap, I didn't put braces on this one. Flex it just a little bit just so I don't have to waste that lift. Ooh, that one's very nice. Very nice. I accidentally just figured out these pens. It's taken me a year. Such a weird shape. The clip's upside down. Take it off like this. It won't stay in there. The cap falls off. These pens are for dorks. No offense. You know? Jeez. And it keeps it upside down, so you keep all the ink at the bottom. You don't have to latch it in. I don't know if you knew this about me, but I am a marker salesman. There's a lot of reasons you'd want this fine quality pen. There it is. That's pretty good enough. Little tiny gap, but it'll compress. Unfortunately, every time you get one figured, you got to take it down and move it out of the way to work on the next one. Man, I wish the digger would reach that. It would be only about 5 feet short with it all extended up there. Crap. What do I do with this thing? Now with all these braces, it's getting a little tricky. Maybe slide it right down off the end or something. I don't know if I can digger it out of here. What the heck, let's try. Just from this sitting out here this spring, summer, fall, I guess it's been about exactly a year. Stuff is so dirty, but when it's wet, it's weird. That coating just wipes right off. What I need is a hose and a scrub brush. I mean, a power washer would be great, but that's not gonna happen. Yeah, it just like comes clean off of there. So weird. Look at that weird gunk. At least that glop makes stuff slide easily on here. I know if I don't spin this around, I'm going to get confused and cut the wrong end. Alright, now for the fun one, and probably the hardest one to manage. 151. That ought to hit hard. I wonder if now that I got the meat of the bark off of here, if I'd be able to draw knife it. I've done this before, just let it season and then go up and draw knife around after the thing's all fixed together, but it's kind of a pain. I know I'm going to get even covered or with sap, but let's see what happens. Look at that. Immediately gummed up. Oh yeah, here's the trick. I remember when you're doing cedar, to go at a real sharp angle and then it kind of rolls out of the way. And still gets gummed up. Oh, it's just splashing my face right through the visor. Got her peeled. Got a little bit of a bad spot there. But this is where that soft spot keeps going. We have an extra 7 inches, so I'm just going to cut that end off. Let's see, we already cut the other. Oh, it's going to be pretty good right there. You know, let's just cut a little extra off for no reason. Let's go down to there. Barely get rid of that bad spot. And I suppose on this end, this is the end towards the middle of the kitchen, this could get a little bit of water on it. Now this saw, huh? And they just put a new filter in it too. Oh, this one runs. Okay, now for the worst part. Let's hope this fits the very first time. It won't, but we can hope. I just don't want it to fall off. It makes me feel all tingly. Whee! No problem. Just ignore all the grunting and screaming. Alright, I fit my limit. Got chased in by rain 3 times today. If it starts raining again, I'm just not going to build a kitchen. I think I'm going to stack these all on there, go up on top and just cut right through both logs at the same time. To do this, you just got to keep telling yourself, if it falls, just let it go. Don't try to stop it. Oh, this one's gonna be a bear. There's that super fat end on it, and it's wet, the whole thing. And it's raining. Okay, this is it. This is the worst. That's over. Oh, yeah. When you look at that end of the log, it doesn't look too bad, does it? It's like a toothpick. I probably should have notched these out a little bit further out here, because now when I cut it, it really needs to fall over the edge of the log, and they're all a pretty tight fit. See how that's got to come directly down. If this was lower down, it wouldn't be that big a deal, but I just hope that they can clomp right down where they're supposed to. Oh, that wasn't bad at all. That was great. See that little bit of gap there? We can clean that up pretty easily. Why don't ladders come with chainsaw holders? That's frickin' perfect. This could be worse. It's nice that I already have that flat cut on the bottom of this. So I've done this before when you don't have it flat and the log's teetering up there and you cut one end and the whole thing just wants to roll off. I think that ups our safety margin by a little bit. Bar was barely long enough. The handguard was getting in the way there. Oh no. Oh, this one's a little underneath. Might have got my measurements a little bit janked. That's all right. Don't make no difference. Ah, look at that fit. That is gorgeous. Not cut through? Who would do such a thing? Oh, still? Get the slightly larger bar for this one. All right, well, that worked out. It's quite a bit less sketchy than I thought it was going to be. You never know, standing on a ladder with a chainsaw, how it's going to work out. Oh, yep, you're right. We have to do the test, don't we? Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, that's stronger than I am. It's too bad from this angle, it's kind of hard to tell how funky that closest log is. It has a lot of bow in it, a lot of crown. I guess you can see it a little bit. I thought it was going to be a little weirder, but that'll do. We got that done before, well, there's black clouds right there. Probably going to get rain down in a couple seconds. Oh, hi there. You must have been ignored all day long. Okay, that's enough. I was just going to put a couple of lag bolts down from the top to hold those in place, but I think I'm going to wait until I figure out. Probably next we'll do these corner braces. I think we got plenty of small cedar logs. Oh my gosh, you are a bit much. Depending on how we do those braces, it might be nice to be able to shift those around just to plug those braces in. And then, oh man, it's getting really dark over there. And then I think we've already got all the lumber milled up for the rafters. We'll start figuring the roof. I don't think it's going to be quite as bad. It's going to be a lot more trips up and down the ladders, but at least it's only going to be carrying like 1 2x8 or 10 by like 11 feet long up and down. I mean, we're plenty buff enough for that, aren't we? Have to figure that pitch. It'll probably be the same as everything else out here, which is what, like a 412, 512, same as the cabin and the doghouse and whatever else. Just one pitch going up there, hanging over the edge. This side 1 foot, this side 1 foot, that side 1 foot, and then right even with the logs on the front. Or if the lumber's long enough, I suppose we could stick it out another foot that way too. Oh, that's going to be really fun to do. So we've got braces like that on each corner. Probably got one going up here to the roof pitch up there. Probably one up from the middle. And then there'll have to be logs going up here from those two corners to hold the top of the roof. Anyway, got to get stuff put away before the rain hits. Okay, great, fantastic. See you next Saturday. Say goodbye to the nice people. Are you about to tip over? Sure looks like it.